In this video, I'm going to show how to replace the rear shock absorbers on this Ford F-350. Let's get started. At the bottom, we'll use a 15mm wrench to hold the bolt and an 18mm socket to remove the mounting nut. All right, push this bolt out, support the shock, remove the bolt, and pull the shock down the rest of the way. Follow the shock up and you'll see an 18mm mounting nut. Remove that. Take it off. And now just wiggle the shock absorber to break that bushing free off the metal. Sometimes it's necessary to use a pry bar to pry this off, kind of slide it off of that stud. There we go, and there it is. Clean up the stud the best you can up top here, and I recommend adding some silicone paste or any sort of grease that is rubber friendly. This will not only help the new shock slide on a lot better, but it's going to prevent rust from building up here. Before installing the new shock absorber, it's important to compress it or start it or prime it, whatever you want to call it. And you want to do this with it on the ground, firmly secured so that it doesn't slide. Press it all the way down, and we're going to let it expand. What this does is it's going to mix everything that's inside, oils, gases, and everything, so that it can be ready to go when you install it on the vehicle. If you don't do this, you may hear some clunking over bumps as this sat compressed on the shelf for a while, and if things aren't ready inside, well, the rear end might jump around a little bit. This will also extend the life of the shock, and the more you do this, you'll notice that it might get more difficult to compress, and that's normal. That's what you want. Usually I do this 4 or 5 times, and then I will be ready to install this on the vehicle. Also note that it's important to keep it upright when you do this. If you put it sideways or upside down, it will not function as intended. Now let's install the shock up top. Slide it over that mounting stud and put the nut on to secure it. Hold it approximately where it's going to be so that the bushing can sit at that angle when you tighten it, and snug it up. "52 foot-pounds is the torque for this top mounting nut. Now bring the shock in closer to where it mounts, and you're going to have to press it up. Slide it in. Push that bolt through. Start on the mounting nut. Let's snug it up. Hold the bolt with that 15mm wrench and tighten up the mounting nut. The torque on this is 66 foot-pounds. My bolt is spinning when I'm doing this, so I'm going to hold it with that 15mm wrench. And there we go. At this point, the procedure is the same on the other side, and I always recommend replacing these in pairs.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.